Okay. Sorry about that. I have my TV up. I had to make sure I turned it all the way down. And then my phone too, because sometimes when I get on here, all of a sudden people want to start texting you and call. Well, I don't get no texts, but call you. I'm like, okay, wait a minute now, what's going on with this? So I have to put on do not disturb. Same way with my other phone. Okay, let me get on here and I want to say this. And hello everyone, welcome to the live show. And in the other video, I know people going, I'm gonna get some backlash, but I don't care for real. I was intent on finishing my hair, but I have this right here, some Mark Anthony, and I will be putting this in my hair. And in the midst of this, I would like to talk and discuss. Sometimes I like to do live because I feel like it won't take up all the storage in my phone, of course. You see my grays, but that's okay. I'm gonna put a rinse in it. I don't put perms in my hair. My niece told me to get this for my hair because I had cut it. And for those of you that don't know, that's another part of the story that I can share another day. But anyhow, I came on here on this live. I'm at the I'm gonna have to figure out a name for my channel. I'm gonna have to think of one. But anyhow, I don't know. I know my live probably is not public, but I hope it is. For those that are subscribed to my channel, I like to come on and address some things live and in color. Okay. One of them is hello. You can call me Lisa. Okay. My name is Lisa. Welcome to my live. And I have been putting up videos. I'm doing my hair, by the way, too. You know, I'm that person. Let me put this on my head. I get to it after I get finished. I want to get to what I came on here for. Okay. Okay. Let that moisturizer stuff set in. This stuff right here is amazing, by the way. This is what I'm using. Okay. So, got that out the way. And also in my other video, I put some of this in my hair, which is castor oil. Castor oil. Natural girl all the way. Okay. So, let me get it started. First off, I want to say if I offended anyone or if anyone felt like me talking about where I live probably stepped on some toes, I'm sorry. Why I say that is I'm not sharing because I'm not grateful. Okay? I'm not sharing because I'm not thankful. I am truly grateful, thankful, and blessed. I say that because I'm documenting a lot of things in my life, and that's part of it. Again, I live in income based, Section 8, and affordable housing. I guess I said that right. Basically, you can be on a fixed income, no income, or income. There's people that live out here that pays regular rent. My daughter and her husband did. They no longer live out here. They lived out here about a year and they gone. And to be honest with you, they're building to me hall area and stuff was not dirty or nothing, but she had a neighbor above her. That's a story in itself. He was out the window hanging one time, just hanging out his window, pulling feathers out of his pillow. Believe me if you don't want to. We was outside, and I think it was my grandson's birthday, and it was me, my daughter, her children. She has two, my granddaughter that I was raising, and about three friends. I'm fine. Thank you for coming through. Subscribe to my channel, turn on post notification. I'm telling the journey about my living. Okay. So, he was outside. The feathers were coming our way while we was eating. And was like, what the heck? So I got up to look. This man was dangling out of his window with a pillow. No, it wasn't no pillow. It was a blanket. It was a blanket. Take the back. My bad. A blanket pulling the feathers or the whatever was in the blanket out. Okay. My daughter does not live out here no more. I miss it that she doesn't live out here. This might seem like all over the place, but I'm kind of doing some recapping too. This is the thing. I don't mind no one seeing who I am. Okay? Like the video, turn on your post notifications. If you want to know anything about me, I don't have no problem with sharing it. I'm not arrogant or cocky. I'm a very polite, sweet person, respectful person. I'm sharing this because, first, like I said, I apologize if I offended anyone that is on these programs. I didn't say anything out of line, but I say that in defense of what the people are going through in California. That's why I say that. These people are losing their homes. I don't care if they're rich, can't afford it, have a regular house. Some of these people might have been on income-based housing. It ain't all about money, 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 but right about now, it's going to be a lot of people without homes due to not probably having insurance. And even if that's the case, the ones that did have insurance, you cannot replace what you lost. So I say to myself, I'm grateful for where I live at. Now, this is where I'm going to talk about it. I have a roof over my head. At the age of 52, I was homeless, okay? I was homeless due to losing my mom and losing my mind. No, I ain't went to no Loomy hospital. I'm talking about depressed, okay? I just said it like that. But my doctor was aware of it because, like, I went to a doctor's appointment, and I think I went back 3 months later. You know how you got to go to your follow-up appointment, and he seen the change in, like, my whole everything. And I broke down crying. I told him what happened. I lost my mom 10 days before my birthday, okay? 10 days, January the 20th, 2014. My birthday's January the 30th. Lord's will, I'll be 59. And I say that to say, this month, that's another reason why I'm expressing myself a lot too. Because I don't have support, okay? I don't have it. Now, sometimes when a person talks, it's almost as if they contradict what they're saying. I'm going to specify what I'm saying when I say I don't have support. That's why I wanted to go live. For those that watch my live, replay, videos, or anything, comment, tell me what you think in a respectful way, because I don't have no problem with talking to people. So, when my mom passed away, January 20th, 10 days before my birthday, of course, that's devastating. Guess how I found out? I'm going to leave that there for a minute. Facebook. Are you kidding me? So just picture waking up, getting yourself together for the day. Hello, everyone. Welcome to my live. You can subscribe to my channel. Good night. You can subscribe to my channel, and I don't want no trolls up in here. I know how to delete, block, and all that stuff, but right now I ain't into that because I'm just going to get my point across of what I'm saying. This means a lot to me. You can like the video if you like. So, she passed away, found out on Facebook, and when I tell you, I feel like I lost it. I lost it. And when I lost it, I feel like I lost everything. Me and my oldest daughter, her husband, my grandbaby, we moved to Jacksonville, Florida, April 29, 2014, after losing my mom. My doctor wrote a statement saying that I can break my lease. So therefore, I didn't have to pay the full amount. I think it was like $3,000 or something. $1,500 was all I had to pay. But not by myself. That's a store in itself. So I moved to Jacksonville, love Jacksonville. I lived in Florida before. I used to live in Bradenton, Florida. My kid's father's from Daytona Beach, Florida. Done been to Tallahassee. I done been Tampa, Sarasota, you name it, Palmetto, and St. Petersburg, crossing over the Skyway Bridge. I done been through all up and through there. I love Florida. Bradenton, Florida. Oh, beautiful. My youngest daughter's, that's where she was born. So we went there because my kid's father um, was going to move to Jacksonville. I mean, excuse me, Daytona. And I think Jacksonville and Daytona is like 45 minutes from each other or whatever. So he ended up not moving. Um, I got there. I really loved being in Jacksonville, Florida. But when I got there, I felt alone. I say that because, and this is not bashing no one. My daughter and her husband, of course, they just got there. We just got there. They was out and about. I went a few places with them. She had a small car. We couldn't get in and she had to get stuff. And I just felt like I was always alone, always alone. Despite feeling alone, I was alone, losing my mom. I just felt like I was all over the place, all over the place. So I ended up coming back July 8th, 2014. Oh my goodness. This is where I have to sit up at. My life went to hell coming back here. But here we go. It must have been God sending me back here. After I got back here, July the 8th, 2014, that December, my baby sister lost 3 of her grandchildren and her oldest child. A semi truck killed them. Yeah, killed them. They weren't in the wrong or nothing. So that's that. And my brother that got murdered October 21st or 22nd, 2011, 10 days after his birthday, which is October 11th. Daughter, his oldest daughter, was murdered that same week. Okay? If it wasn't the same week, it was a couple of days prior in the following week. So I say that to say, mind you, my mom passed away January, my sister's situation December. So that whole year of 2014 was, whew. 2015 rolled around. My sister's daughter had mentioned while I was over her house after the funeral and stuff that she didn't want her mom to die, which is my sister that's under me. I got 2 sisters under me. I had a brother that was under me, so it was 3 under me. I'm the second oldest. She didn't want her mom to die. Now, mind you, I hadn't seen my sister in a long time up until the funeral, okay? When I saw her and her conditions and how she was able to get out the house, my son was the only one that got her out the house in her wheelchair. Now, why I say that is prior to that, I hadn't seen my sister in a while because where she was living at, me and my daughter, like I said, we moved to Florida and my baby girl and stuff, she ended up moving to PA because of her boyfriend or da 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 da. Then they ended up moving back. I went through hell. I think I lost my train of thought. Coming back. When I tell you, I went through some tests. Now I have testimonies, okay? God want us to talk about it. I listen to this other lady on YouTube and no, I'm not mimicking nobody. I talk about stuff all the time. I have another YouTube channel too, okay? I have another YouTube channel, Mona Vegan Lifestyle. You go and check that out if you want to. Mona Vegan Lifestyle. The reason why I decided to make this one is because I wanted that life set apart. I didn't want to be in that life no more because it was a past life and the things that I was trying to overcome. So I said, let me create a new channel. I just gave the page, Mona Vegan Lifestyle was my other one. You hear me talking the same way. You'll see me cooking. You'll see me eating healthy. You'll hear me talking about my weight loss journey, how much weight I done lost, and why I started a channel. Okay. So my sister's daughter, her only child, only daughter, excuse me, she had 3 kids. Her daughter was the second oldest. I said what she said. And up until the point, like I said, I think I had got trained of thought, but I came back to it. My son was the one that helped my sisters out of her house when it was time for the funeral. He brought her back in. She got 2 sons and a daughter. And he was the only one. My son's tall, not when people say a big boy, he ain't fat, he's strong. I mean, strong, just like his daddy was. Tall. I love my baby. When he hugged me, I love it. I'm a tall person, So he brought her back in, and I was like, oh my goodness. My sister went through hell leaving that house. She had panic attack, anxiety, everything, because she hadn't been out of her room. I would say by then, 4 years. So when her daughter mentioned that she didn't want her to die, my sister that is, she didn't have no idea what I was about to do. I would go to my sister's house and visit. Now, mind you, a little backstory. I'm a certified nurse's assistant. I work with terminally ill patients. I worked in assisted living facility. Nursing home, no. I worked in homes. 12-hour shifts, 7 in the morning to 7 at night. I started off as a personal care aide, and I took liking to wanting to know a little bit more, and I took a test class, passed it. That's when I became a certified nurse's assistant. And it was a hospice nurse and an LPN, licensed practice nurse. I don't think they call them those no more. Was the one that kind of like drove me to it because I was seeing what they was doing. I have always worked with kids, and I worked in rehabilitation places. I'm a Kansas native, Kansas Neurological Institution with handicap or disabled kids and adults. I was a foster mom. I have a long resume. I done had my background check, all that. I even got someone found me on care.com. If you don't know what that is, you can hire nannies, housekeepers, childcare, and they can do a background check on you there. I had my background check through the state because I'm registered through the state where I live at to do childcare. Okay. And that's the only way I would do it because I ain't trusting nobody paying me out of their pocket. I've been screwed, but I'm gonna move forward. So my sister's youngest daughter, her oldest daughter, well, only daughter, said what she said. I moved in my sister's house. I would go visit her. Then I start staying the night. And then I moved in. But she didn't know why I moved in. I moved in to help her on her weight loss journey. I moved in, she didn't have no idea. I moved in March 2015. When May came around, we're going to get this party started. And I'm talking about quickly. Honey, I started setting up appointments. I gave her doctors because the doctor I gave her I knew of because it was a doctor that someone that lived with her went to because I was going with her to her doctor's. Man, I tell you. Sometimes when you tell people about yourself, it's almost like you feel like you got to prove a point, but you just talk. Keep on talking. You can speak your truth. No one has to believe it. I helped that lady too. And when I took her, I found a doctor for her. And I went with her. I liked the doctor. He was so complimentary. He would say, "Oh, I like the color of shoes or dress you got on and everything." Very polite. And everything is not a flirtatious thing. And I took it as a compliment, right? I referred my sister to get him. And I would go to the doctor's office with my sister. We would take her wheelchair and walker because the transportation had the wheelchair ramp, right? They could wheel you on, lock it down, and wheel you off. I know this. I took care of my mom when she was sick. Honey, let me tell you, I worked in assisted living facility. I took care of terminally ill patients in their homes. So my heart is huge. I'm about caring, not hurting, okay? But honey, I get hurt all the time. And I think that's why I have a purpose. God knows who I am and what I'm about. And my heart is truly pure. So we would go, and my sister wouldn't tell the whole truth every time she went. So that's why I was in there. I intercede, okay? I let her talk. I didn't hog up no conversation because she knows what she want to talk about. But when she didn't tell the truth, I had to sit. I sat in there because I raised my sister, okay? She lived with me and my husband when he was stationed in Fort Riley, Kansas, the Big Red One, okay? Her husband was in the military too, okay? He was a staff sergeant. My kid's father was a E5 promotable E6, okay? He was a sergeant. He joined the military later. That E6 is higher than E5, but different ranks and what you do can be a little bit higher than others. This is military talk. I was a military wife. I'm a veteran's wife. I'm a widow. Okay, that was a good life. I lived in Germany for 4 years, Stuttgart, Germany. Ectordinger Air Force Base, Robinson Barracks, Nelliken's Concern. I lived in Nelliken housing on post. Okay, military housing. The PX, the commissary, all the things. So my sister and I lived around each other because her husband also was stationed in Fort Riley. But beforehand, my sister lived with me and my husband for about 3-4 years. I took care of her. I raised her. Now, I'm 58. She's 3 years younger than me, okay? So she had 55. I'll be 59. Lord's will, she be 56, okay? So about 3-4 years. And my sister and my brother, I have two sisters younger than me, and my brother, Lord's will, he's in heaven. But anyhow, I don't want to talk about that. I'm not trying to get emotional because, honey, I am really doing good talking about this. When I tell you, I sat in there and listened to my sister and I tell her story. I told the doctor, I said, she's not telling you everything. I'm trying to help you. She didn't get mad. I'm not gonna lie, I said she did. I let her talk. I didn't interfere. I let her finish saying what she had to say. But then when the doctor asked me, is there anything that you want your input on whatever? I said, look here. I told the whole story about how I moved over my sister's house and why. I said, I'm here to help my sister. We need to get this ball game to rolling. When I seen how much my sister weighed, I went with her to all her doctor's appointments. Mind you, transportation picked her up. Okay. I went with her to physical therapy so she can get her mobility. And when they would help with her walking, I would push a wheelchair in case she needs to take a break, and they'd be right behind her. She wouldn't fall or nothing. I did that. Some things are psychological. So we made appointments to go to oh, oh wow. I love the military life. I miss it. I'm a widow. I miss everything about it. Um, no, you fine. You fine. You fine. I'm glad somebody's talking. Honey, I ain't forgot what I'm saying. I'm glad you came through here. Thank you for coming through. You can like, share, comment if you like. That's what you're doing. I appreciate it. And I'm just telling a little backstory about me. I'm not on here for nobody to have no like, but I have a lot to share, but it's not always sharing depressing things. I'm sharing testimonies. I'm sharing things how I overcame. I'm sharing things that how I help people. I'm sharing about support, what support means to me and how support is. Every time people think of support, it's not financially, it's about just that. Girl, when you're going through something, I need somebody to talk to. I need somebody to hug me. I need somebody. Can somebody cook me a meal sometimes? I need somebody to see if I need anything. And let me tell you, I'm not no freeloader. If you come and you might not have gas, or I can offer you some gas. I don't have none of that. Straight facts, truth. Okay. I have proof that I can prove that what I'm saying is true. Cameras don't lie. My baby girl, I had mentioned it in the story. I'm gonna get back to how I was talking. I moved in with my sister, and when I tell you I helped her, I ran her house, I cleaned, I disciplined my nieces and nephews. When she had an inspection, the lady walked through the door and she was like, kid you not, wow. I was my sister's legs, eyes, mouth, because she didn't have mobility. She didn't have it to where she could get up and move around if somebody did something in her home or to clean or whatever. Just keeping it for real. I done got between people fighting. Son and his girlfriend, they used to throw down. And I used to get so upset because I used to tell my sister, this is your house. You need to do something, say something. And she literally, honestly, was afraid because when you were in that condition, people was neglecting her. They was neglecting her. So me being there, I was everything to my sister. God in heaven knows I was. To the point to where I can remember my niece was with this guy, and I would go back there and tell my sister, how can you let that guy in your house and he's mistreating your daughter? And I would hear things because I didn't intrude like saying things to him, but he knew I was the one that would go back there and tell my sister. He said, you just tattletaling or whatever, whatever, whatever. I did not like him. And so to the point to where I started finding an outlet and I started going to church. It was me and the lady that lived there and her son's ex-girlfriend before the one he got with. They used to fight. The first one, no, they didn't. But the second girlfriend, that was the one I used to have to get between. But the first girlfriend, I helped her when she went into labor with her baby. Honey, I need a book. I need to write one. Actually, I got some pages that I started, right? And I think it's like 116 words or something. So I went to church. I get a text message. My sister says she's in the hospital. Now, mind you, we just got to church. Man, I don't think we sat down in the congregation, not even 5 minutes, and I get a text. I told the ladies that I was with, the girls, I said, my sister's in the hospital. Everybody, because the lady lived with her, I took care of her too. I was her personal care aide. And my sisters too. When I got back to the house, my sister's house, everybody was outside and hanging in the hall and stuff. And I don't know who it was, but I think it might have been her daughter or maybe it's son. I said, what happened? This is how I talk. I'm not this belligerent person off top gonna come out of the vehicle, just get from church and say, well, and all this stuff. No, I said, what happened? So one thing led to another. Come to find out, my niece was trying to steal from her mom. Okay. And in the midst of that, my sister had anxiety real bad. And like I said, she was being neglected and everything. So I just asked what happened. And my niece at the time allegedly, heard that she was doing drugs. But we know she was dancing in clubs. This is not judging. This is what was going on. So the behavior of what she was doing was making sense. Okay. In the midst of me asking that, she hit me in my head. Now, mind you, we're going in from the church in the hall, and I don't know wouldn't nobody open up the door, nothing or something. And I just said, what happened? That's all I said. She hit me in my head on the left side. So this is left side. And I had a knot. I mean, a huge one. A huge one. I went into the house, sat down. My sister had called my phone and I told her what all happened. She called the police. The police came and took a report. Okay. I ended up going to the hospital, the same hospital my sister was at. Her dad, well, the man that raised her, he told me the reason why he didn't do nothing because he said he would have been in prison. Now, mind you, he wasn't well himself. He had seizures and stuff, so that might have played a factor. But I don't know. You still could have grabbed her because you wouldn't have no seizure then. So I got hit in the head, cussed out, disrespectful to the utmost. Now, let me tell you something about my children, and this is not putting them on no pedestal. My kids give every one of their aunties, everyone, respect to the point to where they love my children. My sons helped all his aunties. And I kind of made a joke one time. I said, I'm your mama. I was just playing with them though. I didn't care. He helped them. He helped my mom. Mind you, like I said, my son is a tall, strong, he's not like an overweight person, but he's just really big, muscular person. And his dad had muscles too. He was in the army. Yeah, well, you know he ain't overweight in the army because they don't play that. Because you could get put out. And he helped my mom because she was obese and certain things that her husband couldn't do. Better yet, she probably didn't want him to do it. She wanted my son to do it. Same way with me. I took care of my mom. I would go sit in dialysis with my mom. I would take my mom to her dialysis appointment until they got the transportation for the wheelchair. I think it was like for 2 weeks, the paperwork going. I would go in there. Everybody at the dialysis knew me. The reception lady, her name was Betty too. My mom's name was Betty. I would go in there and sit 3 to 4 hours. Sometimes, when you dialyzing, you're on different times. Some might be in there 3, some might be in there 4. And my mom went faithfully. She was diagnosed with renal failure, which is kidney, in 2004, I want to say. And when she found that out, she lost it because the lady that told her when we went to the family meeting, it was me, my sister that I took care of, and her boyfriend. At the time, she was mobile, okay? My sister, the one I took care of. Her husband, he was her husband, excuse me. We all in there, and the lady that told my mom loved her. She was my doctor too, and my sister's doctor. Don't you know when she told my mama that, I had to find me another one because they told me I was diabetic and I was taking metformin, even though it was for different things. And I was poking myself and checking my blood sugar levels and glucose level and all this stuff. Come to find out, I ended up switching to another hospital. True story here, honey. And I used to hate having to poke myself. Oh, I used to have to take deep breaths and everything because I said, I don't see how people can do this. Come to find out, the more they was doing my test, I was not diabetic. I'm not. No. So I would take my mom to her appointments. Even when she got sick and they had to do the fistler in her arm to widen it out to dialyze her. I know a lot, y'all. I don't know everything, but I know a lot. Very wise woman. And because it would narrow up and they would have to take and do a procedure so they can open it up so she filtrate right when she dialyzing. And she was right hand, so they put it in her left. That's the story in itself. I could talk about what happened to my mom with that. My mom went to dialysis for 10 years. 10 years. She didn't miss a day. And when she got sick, of course, they had to dialyze her in the hospital. So she would go to a hospital that had that set up. I did not like that hospital. Still don't. When I would take my sister to her appointments, let me show you how people love me. I don't take it for granted. She went to see about her psychological, okay? Those receptionists, ladies would tell me, I want a sister like you. You are truly a blessing to your sister. All these things. And I'm like, oh my goodness, just warm your heart to hear that. And I would have to take my sister, wheelchair and walker, because the doors were narrow and the wheelchair wouldn't go through and it had nothing to do with her size. So what I would do is pray. And I say, okay, sister, are you sturdy? You got your walker. You sure you're fine? Because she would have to sit a short distance, but still, she was getting her strength back, and I wanted to fall. So she had the walker. She would go sit. I had to get the wheelchair, pull it through, and then when it was time to go back to the talk to her therapist, the same thing because those doors were so narrow. And I said to myself, "What the heck was they thinking about?" Thinking about. So anyhow, I would go back there. The first time she went back there to get evaluated or whatever, and I broke down crying when I went after she got finished talking. I talked to the counselor lady and I just broke down crying. We went into a separate room and I told her these words. I said, you know what? My sister ain't telling you everything. She's not telling you the truth. She's been abused. I'm being abused. Living with her, I got abused. I lost myself taking care of my sister for 2 years and 3 months. 2 years and 3 months. Elementary school friend. I hadn't seen in about 40 years. Let me show you how God, that's why I say I don't take nothing for granted. People come in your life for season, reason, lessons, and blessing. And these are testimonies of what I'm saying. She didn't have a Facebook at all. And her sister did. And her sister and my sister and me, we was friends on Facebook or whatever. And she had mentioned to her sister, she said, you need to get on there because Lisa's on there, da 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 da, woo 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 woo. And mind you, we used to live in back of each other because there was an alley. We used to go to grade school, middle school, high school together. And come to find out, her mom and my mom's birthday, we did not know this until 2016, I want to say. Their birthdays was the same day, October 27th, and me and her both is the same sign, me and my friend. My birthday is January 30th, hers is February 17th, Aquarius, okay? Didn't know this at all. She came and picked me up. I went to her house. We kicked it. Had a good time. She has the most amazing hospitality. Amazing. Cook good, clean. She has a licensed daycare in her home. Very, very, honey, you come to her house. She showed you that bed and stuff that you laying on is fresh. Because she had the mattresses, the sheets off. And she had done cleaned it down, wiped it down, plastic over the mattress, and she put fresh linen down. Honey, she was clean. When you leave, same thing. Leave it be, you can go wash it or she'll wash it. I washed it because, hey, I laid on it. Why wouldn't I? And I got my, background check living with her because she had a daycare and I was over 18. That was no problem. Mine's pull up just like that. Because again, register in the state I'm in, but still these different jurisdictions, I was able to be a backup provider for her in her home. So Went back, had a good time, reminisce about the whole times. She invited me to an all black and white party. Either you wear all black, all white, or black and white. And it was a friend's party, and the friend ended up inviting me too, so I felt more comfortable and welcome to go. When I tell you I had a good time, I didn't even want to go back. I didn't want to go back. I left for a whole month from my sister's house. Every night I cried. Every night I cried. But I ended up meeting her cousin on Facebook, not knowing it was her cousin. That's a story in itself. But I'm going to tell you something. That was the only support I had at the time. I had her, but she didn't know what I was going through. Because, see, I came to her house. I wasn't telling her everything I went through. I wanted to enjoy myself. But at nighttime, when it was time to go to sleep or whatever, lay down, I bawled. Because all of what I went through, I think I was crying for my mom. I was crying for my brothers. I was crying for my nieces. I was crying for myself. I was crying because I was being abused physically. I was taking care of someone and you getting abused. See, you hear the horror stories of personal care aides or certified nurse assistants or people like that taking mistreating the patients. No, I was taking care of the patient and getting mistreated. Yes, I'm that victim. I have records. If I had to ever pull it out and take it wherever I go, they'd see that I was in the emergency room, went and got a CAT scan on my head to see if it was anything serious because I had a big knot from getting hit in my head by taking care of my sister. Her daughter did it. The very one that said, I don't want my mom to die. And I came in there and took care of my sister. But y'all in there neglecting her, mistreating her, abusing her, just dogging her. Because y'all knew at that point in time in her life, she was vulnerable because she was not mobile. She was bed bound. And I helped my sister to live right to this day. Thank you, Jesus. My sister working. She still got weight on her, but she's not in that house. She's walking. She got married. And in between that, she suffered a loss. Her daughter, September of 2018, went missing. November, the week of Thanksgiving, maybe the day of or day before, they found her unalive. This is the one that told me to take care of her mom. But despite what she did to me, she forgave me. I mean, she apologized. That child had a nervous breakdown. Somebody was feeding her drugs, controlling her, because that wasn't her. She came to me. She used to call me Annie Baby and told me, I'm sorry. See, here we go. We got to look at it two ways. Was it her or was it something else? That wasn't her. Despite what she did to me, I felt, and I'm telling you, when she did it to me, I did not want to be around that child. My kid's father at the time was still living. He was mad. He was angry because they used to go and visit their dad and visit my kids and their dad, eat and stuff. Raised up. My kids and I helped potty train her. She called me Annie Baby. But in the midst of that, I'm saying this and I mean that child was hurting. This is a testimony of me forgiving. I went to church. That's why I said I was at church. Started going to church. And when I went to church, didn't nobody know this. But see, when you go through something, you can share your testimonies. This is not bragging or boasting. This is showing you that God do move and work on you. I would go up there and ask the pastor to pray for me. I never told him what for. I just need prayer. I'm standing in need of prayer. He would pray for me. And this is when I would get up every morning at my sister's house, sit back in the back where she had her dining area at before anybody wake up. But my niece came through washing 2 items. And she slammed the dryer in the washer. I said, baby, don't do that. Okay, Andy, baby. I would ask God, whatever you want from me and whatever you don't want from me, reveal to me anything that's in the way. I got sick. I was laying on my sister's sofa because at first when I went over there, I was laying in the bed with her. She had big one of those California king beds. I sleep at the foot, she sleep at the top. And then eventually I went into the living room. I have a sheet down, my blanket pillow, and then I would wash it every day if I had clothes and stuff because I'm laying it down on the sofa and everybody else is sitting on it, right? I was on the sofa. And then sometimes she'd be on the phone. I want her to have her privacy. And I got sick. Sick. I said to this day, I said, that was God. It's almost like he was purging me. He was cleansing me. When that happened to me, because see, I asked God, I didn't ask him like asking. I said, whatever your will be done, please remove anything that's hurt, harming me, or is danger to me out of my life. When I would be back there praying, I was going to church. I was mad. I was angry because what had happened to me in the midst of helping, I lost myself. I felt like, mind you, losing my mom the year before, but and no, I didn't accept the reality of it. It was like you can have what you call it, triggers. And it brought it back up. So the midst of me going through what I was going through, in the midst of me being abused prior and then, I lost myself. But when I started going to church and when I started praying more and when I was exercising every morning, I don't ask God for nothing. I would pray and say, your will be done. Whatever is for me is for me. Whatever ain't, ain't. I moved from my sister's house. I left everything I had over there. Went back to my youngest daughter's house. No, mind you, I could have stayed there. Mind you, I was helping my sister. Had my own room at my daughter's house, my own bed. No one shared the room with me. She had 2 bedrooms, but at the time she had 2 children, but one was a baby and the other was taller. And you know how that is. They want to sleep with their mom, but she had beds, like a taller bed, and her room was huge. I said, okay, I'm being obedient. I'm being obedient. The following year, lost my husband. When I tell you I didn't have no support, here we go again, support. None. None. But everybody loved him. Everybody just, oh, he helped me raise my siblings. And when I say that financially too, even when I met him, my mom, my dad didn't know at the time because my mom and dad weren't living together. But anyhow, my mom loved him until he sat down like a real man and said, how would you feel if I was to take your daughter away from you one day and, marry her or whatever? My mom kind of didn't like that, but she came back around. My mom loved him. My sisters loved him. Now, my mom would have been supportive, but she had already passed on. He passed away 3 years and some months afterwards. But see, I'm contradicting, or am I? I knew someone that was in a faraway place, but that was the only person that let me express my feelings But I didn't do all the way that. I didn't get to mourn, grieve, cry, or nothing. And so I had to be there for my children. So I clarify when I say I don't have support because my kids lost their dad. Who was there for them? Me. They was all four of my kids was on my back, crying and lost and going out here in this world. And I could share that too. And just mentally just broken. So I had to be strong. And I was because I had God. I was talking to him. I shut down everything outside of me and focused on me and my children at that time. No one else mattered to me. I would go walking, didn't have to, but my daughter lived where there was all kinds of amenities. That was a part of me getting my exercise, losing weight. I was focused. So me being focused and doing that, that's probably what my grieving process was or whatever. And my phone, I would turn my phone off. I didn't want my phone to ring. I didn't even want to hear a text message or nothing. I shut it off. My daughter in my house, my kids was close by, and if something was wrong, she'd come and tell me. I turned it off. I started walking. She lived where there was a fitness center, Dollar Tree, Joann's. Then we going on around. She had at the time it was J.C. Penney's, Dick's Hardware, Sporting Good. You had Payless, Targets. All three of those stores is gone, but Targets. The Joann, the Dollar Tree, and the gym is still there. Then you come on across over. There's a gas station, a mattress place, and a after hour care place. They just built. They had the Quick Trip. She had everything. Walmart's, the mall, and everything was out there in that vicinity of where she lived. So I walked. At the time, I was smoking. It's going on 3 years since I've had a cigarette, and I picked dates that I can remember, which is the 20th of January. I lost my mom on 20th of January. And so my birthday's the 30th of January, 10 days before my birthday. And we laid my mom to rest a day after my birthday, January 31st. And her brother passed away the same day we laid my mom to rest. You telling me if not to lose your mind? I lost it. But in the midst of that, 3 years prior, I couldn't lose my mind because I had to be there for everybody, my kids, everybody. And I'm saying to myself, this is 2017, God and me had each other. I had God. Wasn't nobody but God. My income was a little or nothing. And when my kid's father, I'm a widow, passed away, the military is what take care of me. I get survivor's benefits. I was able to pay my debt. Boy, that's a story too. And when I did that, I was more focused because I had God in my life. I was eating right. I was eating healthier. I was exercising, walking. And I was able to find a place. And this is where I live at now. I'm coming back full circles why I was on this live. When I moved in here, in this apartment complex, wasn't nothing wrong with it. Mind you, this is going on 7 years. May the 3rd, 2018 is when I moved in here. About a year and a half ago, everything started going downhill, okay? I'm talking about the floors. Now, the hallway, that's spray paint along the baseboard because they spray paint. I mean, not spray paint. They painted the walls. I said spray paint. I mean, say that. They painted the walls. They were supposed to pull up all that carpet. That's why that black stuff is around there. That's not mold or anything. That's paint. They didn't do that. When I first moved in here, the carpet used to get shampoo and vacuum. Never looked nasty. Then I started seeing real thick hair of animals and pets and stuff. Now, mind you, I love dogs. I can't have cats, allergies. I've been around them. I love birds and fish. That hallway now, I don't want to see people say, well, why don't people in the place clean up after themselves? Honey, I went to $25 Century and more, and I bought me some of that foam carpet stuff. I bought some pets, powder stuff, whatever you call that stuff. I got me a handheld vacuum cleaner, dustpan, broom, wipes. Yeah. And I left it outside my door underneath the stairs in a box. Somebody stole it, stole all that stuff. I didn't want to bring it to my house, but it was in a neat underneath the stairwell box. I had the broom, dustpan separate from my house. I wasn't using the same one in my house. I did that. Even when COVID came, I would wipe down the railings and the doors, and I wiped down the windows and everything. I did that. The man across the hall too. He used to vacuum the halls, all that. He's older. He's been sick and stuff. But anyhow, nevertheless, that's when it started going down. About a year and a half ago, they done had about 7 to 8, maybe 9 different people up in the office. And the lady that's up there now, she told me these words. She said, these places are horrible. They took over last year, March or February. And now what they're doing is, I know a lot of people where my daughter stayed at, there's a lot of people out of that place. They doing whatever they doing, remodeling them or whatever. I show the outside of the apartment. Who the hell can put a whole? I thought it was termites. It's not termites. Those kids or whoever was down there, they got the what you call it, ladders and chisels and all that is doing that. I thought it was termites. Then the blinds and stuff is more bunched up, crunched up. I seen a baby one day. I was walking. I put it on video, not on here. About to open up a window, no screen. I said, no, 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 no. No, close it, close it, close it. That's exactly what I did. And so someone had made a comment and said, well, why don't you do something about it? Are you serious? These people rich, I ain't. That's why I'm documenting it. So the basement, horrible. That's ridiculous. So what they did do, I guess you could call them floodlights or whatever. They got lights out here now. I love those. That's those lights been out here before they came, but put the lights to where when the nighttime falls, the whole area, like in the front where the cars or in the back way, because you can't park back here, but you can park on the side and walk down the sidewalk to get into your door. It's lit up, so you ain't walking in the dark. Now they're supposed to be having 24-hour surveillance, security, and they're supposed to be changing the doors over to where they're locked. So you can't just walk in. You have to have a key, lock, code, whatever. So that's the point. I'm about to get off here. Why I'm doing my lives periodically. I'm on here sharing a little bit about myself. You can like, subscribe, turn on your post notification if you want to know why. I'm on here to change my life. No, it's not that I'm ashamed of being on the program. That ain't the problem. It's how the people keep up with the places that you live in. Just like, think about it. Look at these people that went through this fire and stuff. That's why I said I had to get on here and say, I'm thankful that I have a roof over my head. Those folks did not ask for that to happen to them. You wake up, going about your day, and to end up not having your home and everything is gone through a fire, and the fire's still going on. Now this, ooh, you hear that? That's that dog upstairs. This is the thing. I have a lot of relatives in California, Oakland, Pasadena, Altadena, and San Diego. Oh, and LA too. Hmm. Cousins, not no distance, family. My sister lives in San Diego, and her children and grandbabies, they live in San Diego. I have an auntie, my dad's sister, live in, if I'm not mistaken, Oakland. And then I have some cousins in LA. I'm gonna call my sister today. I haven't talked to her in probably about a week now. But so just I'm very grateful. I tell anybody if they want to be a blessing to me, they can my birthday's coming up. I don't have nobody give me nothing. And I put my Amazon wish list. And when I tell you, listen, I got stuff on there for $4 and $5. People don't know this. I'm gonna give you some tea. Then I'm getting off here. You hear that dog? Oh, when you go on Amazon, type in $5 items, type in $6 items, type in $2 and $3 items. You'll be surprised what you find on there. I got some stuff on my Amazon wish list that I put on my community wall. If you want to be a blessing, my birthday's January 30th. I went on there and created me an Amazon wish list. I did. I don't typically do things like that. It's just sometimes, like when you don't have no one and the thought of someone buying something for you and they have a heart of giving, honey, it can be a car. The more y'all gonna, the more I talk, you're gonna learn me. Study me. I want everybody to study me because I know that's what a lot of people do when they become subscribers. They follow people. They study them, like the consistency, the way they are, their demeanor and stuff like that. I don't care because, honey, I am a very, very caring and loving person. And if I make a mistake, I say, that's why I came on. I said, I'm not complaining about where I'm living at. Mm-mm, mm-mm, mm-mm. I'm sharing where I'm living at because I want to. And I'm grateful because, like I said, those people in California or anywhere for us that matters that's having disasters and snowstorms and stuff like that, and homelessness and all this stuff. Oh my goodness, I've been there. I've been there. And being homeless, you can only imagine that, like, you live your life a certain way. Like I said, I was a military wife, and even being a young military girlfriend and wife, my life, this is 84, 85. Okay? My life was good. I wasn't that typical, and I'm just saying, which ain't nothing bad why I'm saying that, because I like to say things in a sensitive way. Okay? I had a husband that supported me, but he didn't just support me, I supported us too. I worked. So the military, which is Uncle Sam, what the benefits and stuff like that is. I didn't have to worry about paying no doctor's bill. I had to worry about being WIC and my doctor's visits and all that stuff and living arrangements. You can either live on housing or they give you BAQ for portion of rent when you live off all that. Honey, I was a military wife, okay? My husband was in the military for 15 years, and then when he went to Desert Storm, yes, he fought in the war, the Gulf War. Um, he ended up getting out when we went to Colorado Springs because of budget cutting. So it was two things. Budget cutting means oftentimes when people go to war, people don't know the expenses of it. So um, he went into the Army Reserves. That's history. I'm gonna come on another time and talk. I appreciate any and everybody that got on here and say hello, like, comment, subscribe. And again, birthday's January 30th. I do have a Amazon wish list on my community wall. Stuff is cheap, okay? So I appreciate anyone. And oh, shout out to the one that has bought a gift. Thank you so, 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 so much. God bless everyone.